Well, hello. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope that you've had a reasonable last 24 hours of it, that if you haven't, things will get better. Well, I was wondering, there are so many people giving messages out from the other side of life during this time of stress and inconvenience and downright illness and being subject to social distancing and isolation, and families being separated up, some people who are living on their own and unable to access that human touch that we all need in the natural state of things, in the natural order of our lives. We love to be with others, most of us. And of course, there are people who choose to be on their own. But nevertheless, most of us are happiest when we are sharing our life with another human being, or indeed a companion animal. And one of the things that helps us is our spiritualist knowledge, our way of life, where we know that we are not alone. Now, there's nothing spooky about that. Unfortunately, over the centuries, human beings have been put off the idea that they dwell in a world peopled by spirit, from strange stories that have circulated, particularly about evil spirits. And we don't deny that, just like the human race itself, which is made up of good and bad people, as we are all spirit in the body, the spirit world is also good and bad. But we concentrate on the good. And what we say is that we should all understand that even if in the physical sense we are on our own, that in the spiritual sense we are never alone. And of course, ultimately, we are all in God's care and keeping. And God is the great spirit, that omnipotent spirit, which surrounds and imbues all of us. So that's one good thing to think of. Now, that's a little bit lofty sometimes when we're in our, despairing moments, or when we're very lonely, when we feel we are alone. Particularly, of course, if we have lost a loved one to the world of spirit and their physical presence is greatly missed. And we turn at these times to those who are called mediums, who are able, we hope, to communicate the thoughts and love of those that we have lost back to us who are still here. Now, mediums and mediumship is a very, so you could say there's a sort of sliding scale of attainment when it comes to that. And we can't always be assured that the medium who is giving us the communication at any one particular time is up to that particular job. And perhaps we should all think, those of us who are not actually developed as mediums and healers, perhaps we should all think of actually sitting in a development circle to develop that ability, because everybody has gifts of the spirit, all have different gifts of the spirit, as we know. We have been told that for thousands of years. But developing those abilities is a very good thing, and is to be sought after, and don't be put off by interpolations in various texts held to be sacred that say you shouldn't do it. And the other thing is this, that we can all communicate with the Great Spirit and all those who are on the other side of life. And we can get messages from them. And it doesn't have to be necessarily mundane, and it doesn't have to be necessarily evidential of the things that are going on in your life at the moment specifically. Although the majority, of course, of mediums who work to bring communications from loved ones who we have loved and lost, who are on the other side of life, back to us here, will dwell on such matters as what you've been doing the last few days or how you've been getting on. Will identify the communicator to your satisfaction, or should do. Will tell you how they actually passed away, passed over to spirit, a little of something of their personality and their individuality, some memories that they have that they like to share with you, all those things which we find very comforting, and knowing then, therefore, that these people that we've loved and we think we have lost are actually still conscious individuals and living on in the spirit realms. But then, of course, there's the wider implications, and that is the spiritual upliftment that we all need. Whether most of us have been bereaved of somebody we love right from an early age. And I think most children tend to suffer the pangs of bereavement when a pet is passed over to the realms of spirit. And we know, of course, that they make their presence felt as well, so they're little spirits too. Now, the thing is this, that it's most important that we all get some upliftment for ourselves, and not necessarily able or even willing, perhaps, to seek out the services of a medium. Now, don't forget, of course, I always advocate that mediums are always best found in a spiritualist church or organisation who can basically, even without saying, could vouch for them, their sincerity and their abilities. But this isn't always, as I said, something that people would feel comfortable about. And even if you do feel comfortable about it, it's not always at the time you need an uplifting message most that you can actually access a medium. So I thought to myself, how can I help with this? Yes, I have developed my own abilities as a medium, of course, and I started out, as we know, many years ago now at Lewisham Spiritualist Church, sitting in circle there and developing my abilities. I didn't think I had any abilities particularly. I was just there to find out how it all worked, and of course I did find out how it worked. And ever since, I've been telling everybody else how it works. And here I am tonight, trying to impart some of that knowledge onto you, but also for your personal upliftment. And this has helped me so much. And I would just like to pass this information on to you, because it will help you as well. You know, sometimes we wake up in the morning and we feel depressed, or we have aches and pains, and all sorts of things beset us. Perhaps we've had bad dreams, or we've had a bad night. How can we actually help ourselves? Well, what I'm going to do now, of course, as ever, is change my glasses, and I hope by this means to be able to help now. Now you'll notice that I've actually said that I will give messages for people whose initials of their names, any of the names that you have, A, B, C, D, and E, because I spoke to Kathy before I did this, and I said to her, I would dearly love, to go through the whole letters of the alphabet, 26 people, 26 initials. And she sort of just went, that's a little bit much, So it does take an effort. It does take an effort. That's the other thing. But I will give for A, B, C, D, and E. So if your first, middle, or last name begins with those letters, we'll start at E. Now, what I'll do, this is a little old hymn book of mine. And if you have a little hymn book, or you get hold of one, which is really good, or a nice book of poetry will do. And what you do, and I'm never tired of telling people this because I do it myself all the time, close your eyes, send a thought out. And I'm going to send a thought out now for if you have the initial A in your names, okay? And I'm asking them upstairs to give a special little message for you. And with that, I open the book. Okay, I open the book and I look to see what we have here. And the first thing that my eye sees, and this is for you if you have an A initial. There's not a tint that paints the rose or decks the lily fair, or marks the humblest flower that grows, but God has placed it there. There's not of grass a simple blade, a leaf of lowliest mien, where heavenly skill is not displayed, and heavenly goodness seen. There's not a star whose twinkling light illumes the spreading earth. There's not a cloud so dark or bright, but wisdom gave it birth. There's not a place on earth's vast round, in oceans deep or air, where love and beauty are not found, for God is everywhere there. And that's for you. It's specially given to you from those who love you in the world of spirit, something that will be relevant to you and will touch you and your soul. And I feel at this time, you see, because my mediumship tells me that you need this upliftment very much at this time. And although you may be putting a brave face on things, that deep within, there is that little niggle of worry and wonder, where's it all going to end? But just to know that those who love you are close to you at this time, you are not alone in that. And that was a lovely message for you. There you are, you see. And you could get that for yourself. And then, you see, we'll come to the initial B. So I hope that you like that. Oh, while I'm just before I do that, I can see everybody there. I can show you all on screen. Look, there, look. There's such. There you are, Samantha. Yes, good evening, good evening, good evening. And Nicola, hello. And oh, Fifine, oh, love the colour. Oh, thank you very much. That's our special clerical colour, that is. And BN, I'm not sure about that. I haven't quite got text speak yet. And Amanda, oh, and Barbara, and Andrew. Hi, do you have any message for me? A. Oh, well, I think you've just had one. Your initial is A, Andrew. The last time you looked. And there's that one. Good evening. Yes, yes. Right. Okay. So I'm hoping that that sort of helped there. Right. Now, Andrew, I hope that that helped you. Now, B. Oh, I still have got these glasses on. See, just because you're in touch with spirit, it doesn't invest you with sudden illumination of your everyday situation. I still wasn't sure what glasses I had on there. So now, B, I'm going to close the book again and ask again. The other thing is this, that you have to be in the right frame of mind. You can't just treat anything like this lightly. Right, I've opened the page here. I don't know what it is yet. And this is for you if your initial of any of your names is B. Whoever yearns to see aright, because his heart is tender, shall catch a glimpse of heavenly light in every earthly splendour. So since the universe began, until it shall be ended, the soul of nature, soul of man, and soul of God are blended. There, what a lovely message for you there. I hope that you felt that in the deepest parts of you. And of course, we know at this time that everybody is having some problems, and some of us have more problems than others. And you may feel that people around you are not understanding you at the moment and finding it very difficult to be patient because you don't have a lot of patience, do you? And just to know that those lovely words were really meant for you and were brought to you by those who love you in the world of spirit, and those who you've loved and thought you have lost. You may still love them, and they certainly still love you. So there you are. I hope that you feel the presence of that love around you, because you need it very much at the moment. There. So that was for you if your initials were B, are B. All right. And now we shall go on to C. Right. You have to bear with me while I close my eyes and send up my little thoughts and ask for you. This is for you if your initial is C. Sing to the Lord a joyful song. Lift up your hearts and voices raise. To us his gracious gifts belong. To him our songs of love and praise. For life and love, for rest and food, for daily help and nightly care. Sing to the Lord, for he is good, and praise his name with every prayer. For strength to those on him who wait, his truth to prove, his will to do. Praise you, our God, for he is great. Trust in his name, for it is true. For joys untold, which from above cheer those who love his high employ. Sing to our God, for he is love. Exalt his name, for it is joy. There, wasn't that lovely? That was based on Psalm 145. There, if you want to see that. And that was for you if your initial was C. And yes, singing to the Lord a joyful song can be quite hard when you're feeling down. And you wonder, don't you, often, what is all this about? Why are things not going right as they should for me? And know that those who love you in the world of spirit, those who come close to you at this time, are doing everything they can to make things better for you. So hold on to that and remember those lovely words that you were given just then from those on the other side of life. Yeah. It's marvelous, isn't it? I admit I rely on that completely. I rely on them over there maneuvering things around so that I'm able to receive a message in that way that gives upliftment and makes me know that there are people close to me who understand. And I think that's very important because we all need that understanding. And one human being very rarely understands another human being. So those old musical jokes about my wife doesn't understand me, do have the ring of truth about them, as most jokes do, however, God understands you. And those who love you in the world of spirit certainly understand you and love you. And it doesn't matter. And I feel that this is also a message for you, that regardless of what you may or may not have done in your life so far, you have been forgiven, and all understanding comes from over there towards you there. Well, now we have got as far as D. Now, I must resist the temptation to look at myself on the screen, because the screen is over on the other side there, and I'm here talking to you. So now, if your initial is D, well, Nikul Hati, hello, do you have a message for me? Oh, Tracy, hello. Elizabeth, hello to you, hello to you. And Nikki, what we always say is, if, for instance, you're in a church service, the Spiritualist church, and there's a medium, of course, and they're giving messages out, communications directly, personal messages. And if you don't get one on that occasion, what we always say is that if you can take something from other people's messages, please do, because there is always, for all the people that are receiving a message, there's always people there who have not received a message, but who have got people on the other side of life who would really want to have given a message, but because of the constraints of time and space down here, even though that distance between heaven and earth has been traversed, it's been impossible to actually pass those messages on for them. And oh, hi, Candice. I'll click you on as well. Oh, wow. And Candice, you were the last person to receive a message because that was C. So I hope that meant something to you. Now Nicole, you see your initials aren't getting there, but we will see what we can do. Oh dear, we're on D now. So I'm not sure actually if I just did that, but we'll do it again anyway. And here is the message that I get. He hung its starry roof on high, the broad illimitable sky. He spread its pavement green and bright, and curtained it with morning light. The mountains in their places stood, the sea, the sky, and all was good. And when its first pure praises rang, the morning stars together sang. It is not ours to make the sea and earth and sky a house for thee, but in thy sight our offering stands, a humbler temple made with hands. There. So I hope that means something to you if your initials are D. And I feel very much that I want to also, I'm drawn by them upstairs, to also give you this. O love that will not let me go, I rest my weary soul in thee. I give thee back the life I owe, that in thine ocean depths its flow may richer, fuller be. O light that followest all my way, I yield my flickering torch to thee. My heart restores its borrowed ray, that in thy sunshine's blaze its day may brighter, fairer be. There. So if your initials are D, that was for you from those who love you in the world of spirit, in the heavenly realms. Because the fact is that as long as people have lived a reasonably good life down here, and by that I mean just your average life, you know, nobody has to be a saint in order to achieve that eternal life. And you don't have to believe anybody in particular. You don't have to be any particular religion. You don't have to be of any particular culture or creed. It's just a fact of life that we all inherit eternal life because we're all spirit. We come from spirit. That spirit becomes flesh in our mother's womb, and we are delivered here and we grow up, but we are still that same little spirit there. And when we shake off this physical self, our spirit goes back to where it came, the heavenly realms. And so everybody is over there that you ever knew, that you ever loved. They're all there. And on an occasion like this, they all cram forward to help. And, you know, if you've got a medium, for instance, me in this case, they will utilize that to actually make their presence felt and get their love across to you so that you will not feel alone, because loneliness has been a problem for you, that inner loneliness where you could be in a crowded room, I'm told, and still feel that little pang of loneliness. And this comes from wishing that people that had gone before you or on the other side of life were still here. But be assured that their love is still there and working away for you there. So you've got those nice words as well from that little hymn book of mine. So, Tracy. Oh, okay. Tracy, I hope that if you listen to the reading that we got for the initial C, which of course is your second name, that it will mean something to you and will make you feel a little bit better. And I will say a special prayer for you as well. Now, we've come now to E. So we're going to ask all those people with the initial E in their names, the initials, to sit up and listen to this and see what we get for them, right? So all of us, we're all going to ask, let's have a message. Thank you. Right. Now, here's the message. Loving Father, thou art near me, with the angels standing by, and thy gentle hand is on me, and thy love is very nigh. Every sweet and treasured blessing, all pure, bright, and happy things, come to me, by angels guarded, shielded by their gracious wings. They have kept me, they have loved me, they have held me by the hand. All day long they hover round me, and at night they near me stand. And I shall continue this. And don't forget, this is for everybody, not just the dear person with the initials E. Let me bless thee, let me love thee, let me give thee all my heart, never from thy home to wander, never from thy hand to part. Bless my friends, so dear and gentle, bless my dear ones standing by, for like thee, their hands are on me, and their love is ever nigh. There. So I feel very much that if this is for you, and this was your initial, that you needed to know that not only God and angels were looking after you and were close to you, but you needed to know that your loved ones who have gone before, who are on the other side of life now, are also very much in evidence and placing their hands upon you in that gesture of love and giving you comfort and joy at this time, particularly now when everybody is in such a state of worry about what the future is going to hold for everybody. And as for all of us, I hope that you have found that uplifting, that you have resolved that you will have a look in a good book. You know, I've used this little hymn book, but if you have a book of poetry, something nice like Shelley or Keats, you know, one of the romantic, capital R, poets with lovely words, even Shakespeare's sonnets, you can use those, because those words that were given were actually given, if you like, by inspiration to those people, bringing that extra dimension to our lives down here on earth. And you know, of course, being a writer myself, I would say that, wouldn't I? But you know, and of course, there are other ways of enlightening the world. But words to me are of the essence, and I would like to say to you all that I will give another talk, and I will continue with these initials until we have got to the end of the alphabet. And I only wish that I had the energy to be able to do all of it at once. But I hope that also you'd be able to play back some of this. And like I said before, you know, if you can take something from this for yourself, regardless of what your initials are, that it will be helpful to you. I would like to end our evening together with a prayer, of course, and perhaps you would like to join me. Perhaps close your eyes and send out our thoughts. Dear Lord, we ask at this time for all our friends, that they may feel lighter in themselves, that they should feel happier, that they should receive some happiness in their self. We ask, dear Lord, for healing for all those who are suffering at this time, whether they be in mind, body, or spirit. We ask also, dear Lord, for those who are unable to ask for themselves, for those who do not understand the power of prayer and supplication. We ask also a blessing on all those who are bereaved at this time, to let them know, dear Lord, that their loved ones are still loving them and able to hear their thoughts too. To please God, let them know the wonderful truth that there is no death. We ask, dear Lord, at this time also for special healing for all those who are feeling down at the moment, to give some light in the darkness to our dear friend Tracy. We ask, dear Lord, to help her specially, and to lend her feet wings of steel over the ice. We ask you, dear Lord, to look after all our families, all our children, our companion animals. We ask, dear Lord, also at this time for all the animals of the world, that they be respected and looked after and loved just as much as if they were all domesticated. Dear God, we ask all of this in the name of love, truth, and light. Amen. Yeah. So I hope that you've enjoyed the evening, and I will speak to you again soon. And I'm using this particular application because I think it's quite good. My phone always packs up, and it does give me some trouble. So this is a special application on my computer, and I hope that you have found it helpful to you. And thank you very much. Oh, Tracy, you had a dream. That's bless you too. Tracy, I'm putting your comment up on the screen where you say you had a dream or visit from a nun on Monday. She was lost and didn't know where she was. What does this mean? Oh, okay. Right. First of all, nuns, of course, are very very special people, because they devote their lives to hoping and praying for the good of others. And I know that there's been some bad press here and there, but then it's like everything else, you know, human beings, we're a funny old lot, aren't we? And there are sort of various grades of being good. And some, it goes from really bad to really good. And any closed community reflects that wider community. But a nun who came to you in your sleep and saying that she was lost is probably giving you the indication that you are a person who she felt she could confide in, and to know that perhaps where she wanted to go was where you go, and perhaps she could help you. So I would suggest that you know, sort of sit in the quiet and send up your thoughts and just sort of talk to her. Just say, hello, I'm interested in your problem, and I believe that you would like to help me, perhaps, because that would be a good way for you to go in a spiritual sense. And she probably needs some spiritual work to do down here, because perhaps her work down here wasn't finished when she passed away, when she passed over. And perhaps it's a way of shall we say, God saying to her, look, go to this particular person, go to Tracy, and at some point you will be told what you can do and where you can go. And the thing is that everything is known over there, and they would have known that you were going to ask me about it, and they would know that I would give you the answer. So I would suggest that she would be your guide, and she would be very helpful to you, because she wants to do some work still down here for you. There you are. So I hope that you find that to be proved to you in the days and weeks and months and years to come. And I'm sure that she will be very helpful to you. So the next time you need something or a little bit of help, send your thoughts out, Tracy, and say to her, okay, I'd like some help here, please. And just imagine her as you saw her, and you will get that help there. So that's pretty cool. There. Oh, Mum. There you are. Mum, not nun. I would suggest, Tracy, that it all works out just exactly right if you say it's your mum. Though you could just, when you play this back to listen to it, you should be able, wherever, whatever I've said to you would be applicable to your mum, and she would be able to help you. There you are. She would want to be helping you, and that's why. So it's your mum then who's been given this special job, if you like, to say she has. You remember I said that she went before she felt that she'd gone before she could do that much, and she wants to help you there. So you can visualize your mum as she was when you saw her in your dream, and she will help you, and she will be your guide there. How wonderful is that? And that is fantastic. So I'm glad about that. There. What's in us? What's in? It doesn't matter, does it? It actually does make sense. So I hope that this is proved to you. As I said, in the days and weeks and years to come, there she will be helping you. Just send out your thoughts. You send out your thoughts now, tonight, and see she will help you there. And that will be her task. That's a job that she has been given, because that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to help. There you go. She wanted to help you more. So, I'll say God bless you all. I hope that you have enjoyed the evening. I've certainly enjoyed speaking with you. And I really ought to get stronger glasses. When we have this finished with this lockdown thing, I think I must go and get some stronger glasses. It's no use, is it? So I'll say God bless you. Keep you safe until we meet again.